Sagittarius family, I am so excited to be back. I took the month of February off from doing the 12 signs and I'm back for March, and I feel so good to be back, and I'm very, very excited to hang out with some of my favorite energy in the whole universe. You know how I feel about you, Sagittarius. This is truly my favorite energy. And every time I come to hang out with you and talk, I just feel so revitalized and energized and curious about life. And I am loving the energy of March. It is so cool. It's such a different dynamic and energy than we have been working with for a really long time. And that's true in general for 2022. I noticed as we move through each month, there's little details that are added to the energetic makeup that are so different than what we were working with in 2020 and 2021, like so wildly different and so wonderful that it's just really exciting to explore. And I'm realizing as I'm sitting here, this is the first monthly reading I'm doing for Sagittarius where the South Node is not involved in any way. We are free and clear of that energetic transit, and we are now exploring something completely different. And I hope you all are feeling some of that shift and change. So let's just get into it. This month we are moving through Pisces season, and it's a really, really potent Pisces season. That new moon in Pisces is so beautiful, so inspiring, transformative, transmutational. The sun is also going to be meeting up with both Jupiter and Neptune during this Pisces season, which is just so powerful. This supercharges that sense of expansion, possibility, exploration, play, the kind of mutable energy that I love so much, you all are connected to, which is just about our ability to kind of morph. We don't have to be in these rigid shapes. We can kind of explore and allow ourselves to flow a little bit more and be a little bit more in that space. And of course, Pisces energy for you as another mutable sign, this is often associated with fourth house energy for Sagittarius, which is all about the moon, the hidden, the inner mothering, the creative forces that go on behind the scenes, not just how we perform in the world for everybody to enjoy the bright, beautiful Sagittarian lights, but what happens inside, the alchemy that happens from the inside, the secret, hidden, most vulnerable, tender parts of ourselves. And I love this. I love this because this is deep healing energy. It also makes me think about this whole idea of retuning, getting in tune with our own internal tuning fork. Sag has had to learn over the last couple of years how to do things a little differently, like go outside of the signature energy of Sagittarius and explore and play and review and heal different aspects of having Sagittarian energy in our lives. However, as we move through this Pisces season and this very transmutational, very deep healing season that is Pisces season, this is a wonderful time to come back home to your signature energy. And I think I've been saying this for 3 months, but it's kind of a process. It takes a little bit of time to come back into your natural way, relax back into it, find your trust with it again. It's something that doesn't just happen overnight, something that we move into. And this Pisces season is really helping Sagittarians feel more comfortable with our more innate style of doing things and feeling like we can share it more again with the world. So you're going to be noticing a lot of support and help when it comes to that, which I'm really excited about. Letting that kind of optimistic, adventure-seeking curiosity bubble to the surface again and be in leadership role. Judgment came right out. This is one of my favorite energies. It's very transmutational, very much about the work of Pluto, which is about allowing ourselves to go through the process of grief, transmutation, and then feeling empowered by how we have changed and grown, and finding grace and love for our past and whatever it is that we may have been carrying. Eight of Swords, this card is coming up because here's the thing with Pisces season. I love Pisces energy. It's some of my favorite energy in the whole world. But one thing that Pisces energy, I think, asks us to do is sit with ourselves, sit with the deep truth, right? The truth, not only that, yeah, maybe we have shifts we want to make or things we want to check in with, but also the truth that we're held, right, by something so much bigger than ourselves, that we're part of it and we're also held by it. And because of that, if we have parts of ourselves that are feeling shame, guilt, unworthy, resistant, scared, we have to sit with those parts of ourselves and take care of them just the way we take care of the positive, optimistic, free-spirited, playful sides of ourselves. And it asks us to do that. And as a culture, we often aren't taught those skills when we're little kids, right? Some of us are lucky. We have parents or teachers that give us some of those. But as a culture at large, we don't really have those skills. So it feels really overwhelming. However, this is the gate, the ticket, 6 of Pentacles. This kind of sitting with and being with is the ticket to allowing ourselves to be fully in our joyous, optimistic, playful space. It really is the ticket to feeling really present in this life. So I pulled 3 cards from my main deck, and now I'm going to pull 1 card from my Oracle of the Hidden Worlds deck. And we got the Seer. Future prospects, decisions to make, seeking guidance. Very visionary. Okay, let's go through this. So, and I didn't even get to Aries season yet. So we moved through Pisces season, which is so important because it's helping us calibrate to all these new energies that we're working with. It helps us expand. It helps us remember deeper truths. And it's this big kind of taking a bath in the ocean kind of feeling. And then we hit the equinox on the 20th, the sun moves into Aries, and we begin our Western astrological new year. So this is, March in general is always going to be a month where we are closing out, releasing, letting go, and opening up to Aries season. And so I just love this conversation and interchange. And of course, Aries energy for fire signs is just so good. It's so good. It says Aries energy is going to activate your heart, your playfulness, your kind of more like just try it and see what happens kind of energy, where you just kind of jump in and see where it takes you. And it's so fun and so playful and so free and so light. And Aries season in general is just going to be giving you that kind of energy. So really beautiful. March is also a month where we have a lot of direct energy. I think pretty much everybody's direct at this point. So we're having this really wonderful play with the energy moving forward. And it's just this really visionary, where is the energy wanting to go kind of month. Let's talk about these cards because Sag, I'll be honest, you got some really deep ones. And they ask us to do some sitting with, right? But like I said, I always get excited when energies like this come out because contrary to what we think, we want to have just like the play fun cards. I found that when we have cards like this that are about the deeper sitting with, these are actually signs that this is a month that will be more joyful and more playful at a very root, true level than just slapping the Band-Aid of playfulness on top and calling it a day. So let's talk about it. Judgment. Like I mentioned, this card is about giving grace to the past, healing, letting go, allowing what has been lost to be grieved, to be accepted for where it is now, and to rejoice in our transmutation and feel the empowerment of our story. And judgment, I think, is so important in the context of what I was just saying, in that this Pisces season specifically is helping us to integrate and understand what we learned the last 2 years. And not just understand it. I think we've been doing that. We've been thinking about what it means and how it works, but not just to understand it, but also to give it grace and let it go. And that's what judgment is about. It's about letting go. It's not about reliving it, rehashing it, reanalyzing it, going back over and over and over and over and over all the things that have happened. It's about letting go, being at peace and grace with it. And feeling the feelings that need to be felt with it and then feeling it wash through. so that it's not just what defines you. It's not just, the main thing that decides who you are in this world, but that it is something that is a part of the story, has meaning, but also we don't have to carry it on our shoulders. So that's what Judgment is all about. Now, Eight of Swords. Oh, our dear friend, the Eight of Swords. This is a card that is all about sitting with the part of ourselves that is scared. Scared of, failure, not knowing what to do, not having all the answers. If we are starting some new chapters, some new projects, we may not have the know-how. We may not have the final answers. We may not know how it's all going to play out. And this is the part of ourselves that doesn't like that needs to be held, that needs to be reassured. I always find the Eight of Swords comes out when there are new things burgeoning. It's the part of ourselves that feels like, well, this is all too new. This is all too weird. I'm not ready for this. I want to hold back. I want to stay small. And I think that we often want to just kind of steamroll that part of ourselves and ignore it. And it's annoying. It's annoying to have this part of ourselves that's like a little worried, a little lost, a little confused. But I think it's like, I guess it's kind of counterintuitive, or maybe it's so deeply intuitive that it makes perfect sense, but go toward that part of yourself, listen into it, hear what it's trying to tell you. A lot of times this is going to be an aspect of ourselves from our past, from our childhood, from a time when we went through something really hard. It shouldn't be in the driver's seat, but it's okay to listen to it. And in fact, realize that it's not there to guard you from doing things. The other thing with Eight of Swords is that this is about trusting yourself a little bit more. You don't need to always have all the answers and see everything and be in control all the time. The Eight of Swords is a reminder that sometimes when we can't see or we don't know, we don't have to go straight to our haunted house. We don't have to go straight to the fear, right? We can just not know and allow something bigger to hold us. So both of these cards are asking for a little bit of connection to deeper trust in yourself, as well as grace and relaxation and rest. Now, we are getting to some very grounded, I think, practical energies, this is such a funny reading because it's asking for like this deep spiritual work and then to just be super practical, because we get to Six of Pentacles. The message that comes here for me, for Sag: ask for help. Allow people to help you. Allow yourself to be held by friends, by family, by support. Don't feel like you have to have all the answers by yourself. Don't feel like you need to build this thing from the ground up by yourself. Let people help you. And also, with Six of Pentacles, if there's a gift that you have to give to the world, share it. Put it out there. That's the most practical thing in the world. And so often we will think, well, it's not ready, or I'm not good enough, or it won't be good enough, or I'll just be, I'm not prepared. But you probably are good enough, and you probably are prepared, and it's probably all okay. Finally, we have the Seer. This is our oracle card. And I love this card. Future prospects, decisions to make, seeking guidance. So I do feel like with the cards that are coming out here, it's like there are things to weigh out in life. There are paths that need to be chosen, directions that need to be honored, maybe questions that need to be answered. And you may have a lot of questions on your mind. Eight of Swords for me is often when we have some big questions and we really, truly do not know how it's all going to play out, right? And it feels very disorienting and scary when we don't have those answers yet. And the Seer card, I think first and foremost, this is about an energy of somebody who is listening in, not necessarily seeking the approval or the guidance of the external world telling you this is okay or this is bad or you should do it this way or you should do it that way, but sitting still enough and really hearing what it is that is true inside. right? And trusting that. And it goes back to the message that came up right at the top of our chat today when I was thinking about Sag energy before I sat down here. It was about returning to that true Sag spirit of optimism, curiosity, seeing the world with joy, play, just trying things out, assuming the best of the world and others and ourselves. And I think like the seer is just assuming that if you sit down and hear yourself, you're going to have the right answers, and you don't need to, overthink it, overanalyze it, ask everybody else's opinion. You can just hear what it is that's true deep down at your center, at your core. And all of these cards, other than the Six of Pentacles, we have the Judgment card, we have the Eight of Swords card, we have the Seer card. These are about grace and self-trust. These are about, you can have a part of your mind that's very busy trying to cover all the bases and make sure everything's a certain way. But in the end, we have to be with ourselves and either choose to trust ourselves and choose to love the being that we are and embrace that, or not. And that's the ultimate, either you are or you aren't doing that, right? And everything about this reading, Sag, is like, come home to yourself. Trust what you need to do. Stop looking to the external world to give you the permission or the approval to be yourself, to do things the way you want to do them, because it will never be enough, right? If we ask somebody, should I change this career, or should I go for this thing? And we could survey all our friends and family, and some of them would say, yeah, do it, go for it. That's awesome. Some would say, I don't know, I'd be pretty cautious about that. And at the end of asking those 20 people, you just feel kind of discombobulated, right? All that really matters is like what you are feeling deep down at a true level, right? That's the voice that's going to lead the way. And the other message that came through here today is the grace and the letting go, right? We're allowed to be here right now. Take a breath. Welcome in this new astrological year. And allow ourselves to be here and move forward, right? Move forward with our full Sagittarius spirits, alight and ready for the world. I'm so excited to see what this transmutational month brings for you all. I'm going to be offering a ton of extra support on Patreon. It's a really great little community. I would love to see you there. If you are looking for a little more community, a little more guidance, I just love that community. I'll leave the link below. You can also find me on Instagram. There's only the one true Sarah Vrba, so I'll leave my handle. There's some imposters still lurking around, so we're wanting to keep an eye on that. And you can also find me on my website and my email. So I will leave all those links below. I love you so much. I hope you stick around here for more adventures and chats. This is such an amazing space to be. I'm so happy to be back. I will talk to you all so very soon. I love you, Sagittarius.